Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I've got, um, so we've got three different kinds of loans. The the vast majority of lending in today's world is going to be what's called the declining balance loan, which is what the first question is, and of course, so yeah, of course now I don't, and I can't. I don't see my pen. Oh, there it is. Okay, excellent. All right. Uh, yeah. Anyway, but we also have add-on and discount method loans, which um, with the Truth in Lending Act, they are a lot harder to use. The Truth in Lending Act requires a lender to prominently display the APR or annual percentage rate. Um, but there are plenty of sleazeballs in finance, and I wouldn't be surprised if people are still attempting to use these types of loans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the calculations by hand, and then I'm going to bring up the calculator, and I will do them while they can apply. So anyway, I'll bring up the calculator, and we'll do them with using the calculator. So hopefully that. All right. Okay. So Elvira borrowed $250,000. Oops. Using a 30-year mortgage with 6% APR. How much is her monthly payment? So, mortgage calculations are going to, they're always going to be monthly. You might occasionally find something that pays differently, but the vast majority of them are going to be monthly. So 30 years monthly, so 12 months in a year. That's 360 payments on a 30-year mortgage. IY is the APR divided by 12. It's 0.5. And then PV is the loan amount, 250,000. And then future value is 0. That's you're just telling the calculator that you're paying that loan off at the end of its life. So, and then you hit compute and payment, and it'll come out as a negative. So $1,498.88. So this is A. And then B, the balance after 5 years. So what we're doing here is we're subtracting 5 years of payment, 60 payments. So there's 25 years remaining monthly. That's 300 payments. And then we compute PV, and we get $232,635.89. So that would be the balance after 5 years, making 60 payments, assuming you didn't pay any extra. If you paid extra, that would be reflect directly on the balance.
How much did you say?
Because the calculator's in the view of the problem.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you just move the calculator over. There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that.
I don't follow that second part though. You're saying what would the balance be after
5
5
years.
years? So wouldn't you just subtract 5 years worth of payments from the loan?
No, you got interest. You're paying interest. It's not
right. But
So,
isn't that amortized though? I mean, doesn't the payment?
but the payment includes interest. Payment includes principal and interest. So you're only, if you subtracted the payments, you're overstating the amount that you're applying towards your loan balance.
Oh, okay. Whoa, yeah, that's a big difference then.
But that is a common mistake that I see on exams. Students think that and that's how these well, no, it's not going the wrong direction there. Never mind. But yeah, you gotta, this payment includes principal and interest, and it's if you, 60 times, uh, 1,500, if you round it up, is, that's like 90, would be almost $90,000 in payments.
Mhm.
And only, what, 68,000 or 67,000 is going towards principal. That the rest is interest. So, okay, we'll do it. There we go. We can go now do it on the calculator. So, apologize for. All right. Okay. So 30 years monthly. 30 times. Tell you what, it's a pain in the butt to do this with your with your mouse. But anyway, so 30 times 360 in. So 6% monthly. So 6 divided by 12 is 0.5 IY, 250,000. And then 0 future value, and then compute payment. So $1,498.88. So now that we amortized 5 years, so 25 times 12. You could just subtract 60, 5 years worth of payments from 360 and get 300. So 300 in and compute PV. So $232,635.89. Make sense?
Yep.
You good, Antoine?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
still kind of strange because it seemed like only what $18,000 is paid off of it after 5 years.
Yes. Yeah, it's you're not paying much in the if you look in the slides,
But it seems like the interest is higher than 6% though, if that's the case. But it might just be how my mind is thinking about it.
It's
Because
because
like
it's
when you pay
compounded and all
90,
that.
so if you think, like, if we think about the first month of the mortgage. So let's do that. So 250,000 times 0.06. So that's, if you didn't pay any down, that would be how much you'd pay. But we divide that by 12. So $1,250 of the first payment is interest. So you're only so let's
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so the way interest works is that's the whole kicker.
yeah. So then now if we add it, so I can recall the payment. So only $248.88 is going to pay principal. Yeah, so it's a real small amount, and yeah, So as
Somewhere
a,
about
yeah,
halfway through the loan, like through somewhere around 15-year mark, you start kind of flipping that.
exactly. So it's like probably, yeah, I might be off slightly, but say in the first 15 years, you probably pay off 35 to 40% of the loan. And then the last 60 to 65% of the loan you pay off in the last 15 years. That's why it's so beneficial to pay extra.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pay a relatively small amount and and uh, and pay off the loan. So here, let's do this.
So realistically, you paying way more
Oh yeah,
than,
yes you are. You're
and it don't look like it, but people probably don't.
Mhm.
Wow.
and
Yeah,
that's and that's the same when you talk about the people um, with these high interest car loans and the I like to use my stepdaughter as a she's my she's my uh, she's my case study in how not to do personal finance. But she met a loser and fell in love with him, and he asked her to marry her, and he talk about warning signs of warning signs. I think they went to Zales and bought a ring, and guess who borrowed the money for the ring? It's like he couldn't get any credit, so she had to sign for the loan, and it was $5,000 at 24.99%. You 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 know you're never going to get ahead if you're borrowing money at those kind of rates. And, it's an unfortunate, the buy here, pay here car. They pay, people pay, 18, 21% routinely on a car loan, and it's just, unfortunate. A lot of times it's a piece of crap too. So it's just,
oh yeah.
so
That's why it's
horrible,
super important.
horrible
Super
situation.
important.
So, but here, let me do this while, so, all
Well, it's
right.
super important to
So,
get good credit, establish
sorry,
credit. So that's why it's really important to establish good credit.
exactly. If you don't, you'll never get ahead. So, all right, let's just say this, so I can, here's the calculation. Won't be a test question, but it's an important one. So my payment is the 1498. So if I can, let's say if I pay $200 a month extra, so minus 200, so 1698. So I put that in my payment, and then I can compute the end. So those $200 a month. So that um, so it, that at paying $200 a month over the life of the loan shortens the life of the loan by 93 months. So,
Oh,
um, almost 8 years. So that's why you want to kick in a little extra on your mortgage payment. So 'cause don't don't want to be paying it. You don't want to be paying on it in 60, in 30 years, or still be paying. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. So next, any questions on that before I go forward?
No, sir.
no.
Okay. All right. All right. So now we get to the two types of sleazy loans. Um, so, Beto is buying a new G4 from Ted's aircraft sales, the dealer is providing financing. Ted uses the add-on method. If he borrows $4 million at 12% for 4 years, what is the payment on the loan? So the so these loans, they literally don't give you any credit for amortizing principal, basically. So these use the formula is I for interest is equal to P times R times T. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time. So in this, the principal is $4 million. The rate is 12%. Oops. And then the time is 4 years. So you're going to $1,920,000 in interest. So to calculate the payment, we add the principal and interest, the 4 million plus the 1,920,000. So and then we divide by the number of payments or monthly payments. So so that would be 48. That's $123,333.33 a month. So so now where the truth comes out. So that's A, and B, the APR. So it's N is 4 years monthly, 48. We're calculating IY, so payment is the 123,000. Enter that as a negative. Present value is the 4 million. Future value is 0. Then we compute IY and 1.73, and then that's a monthly rate. So we have to multiply by 12 with 20.75%. So in the stated rate's 12%, which is bad enough, but the fact that we use this add-on method makes the APR actually 20.75%. So,
Wow.
so you want to see that on the calculator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So interest. I mean, and when you're doing stuff like this, it's a good idea to use the memory. So the 4 million times 12%, 0.12 times 4 equals. So let's store. But I can use so I just stored that in 0. So I should have stored the principal when I typed it, but I wasn't thinking. So, but if I clear that STO, I 0 saved it in this register, and I just use this recall RCL. So plus my 4 million. And let's store that in 1 equals 5,920,000. So we divide by 48, and we get $123,333. So I can go ahead and enter that. Um, so 123,000. Then I got my 4 millions, my PV, and then 4 years monthly, 4 times 12 is 48, and 0 future value, and then compute IY, get 1.73. And then I multiply that by 12 to get an APR, annual percentage rate, 20.75%.
So is the add-on method, is that the same thing as when people say like a simple interest loan, or is that two different things?
Um,
Because you're
It
just
could-
taking, you're just saying it's an interest rate of 12% times, so it's times the
it's-
4 years.
Yeah, I guess simple interest implies that there's not compounding, which
Okay.
this is kind of the opposite of this. It's just, I mean, it's a kind of applying simple interest to the loan where you don't get any credit for your amortization, basically.
I see.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So any questions there?
no.
Okay. All right. Let's
No, sir.
go. Okay. All right. So let's go. Now we're going to go the opposite direction, discount method. So discount method, what they do is they calculate the interest. The interest calculation is the same, but they subtract it from what they give you. So it's actually even worse than the add-on method. So Donald is buying a dump truck from Harry. He will finance it for 3 years at 18%. Using the discount method, the amount of the loan will be $500,000. All right. So how much is his monthly payment? So his monthly payment is just the 500,000 divided by the number of payments. So that'd be 3 times 12 or 36. So 3 years monthly. So $13,888.89. That's A. So how much is he actually borrowing? So we've got to calculate our interest, and that's principal times rate times time. 500,000 times 0.18 times 3 years is $270,000. So the amount he's borrowing is the principal amount. The 500,000 minus the 270,000. So he's really only about borrowing 230,000. So C, to calculate the APR, so that's 3 times 12 is 36. The PV is the 230,000. That's the true loan amount. Payment is the 13,889.89. This is a good example. I'm sure that this number goes on. So you want to do this calculation and then press payment in future. So, and as opposed to typing in $13,889.89, future value is 0. Compute IY, and that's 4.99%. I think, remember, that's a monthly rate. So we multiply by 12 and we get 59.93%. So you can get an idea of how sleazy these types of lending are.
Wow.
So just thing to remember is discount method, your the amount borrowed is you're subtracting out the interest, and then the payments are just the stated principal amount divided by the payments. And then on the add-on method, you're calculating that interest and you're adding it. You add the interest to the principal and then divide by the number of months. So it's one of the common mistakes is that students confuse the they confuse the types. They do the wrong calculation. So make make sure you differentiate between the two. Put whatever notes you need to put on your cheat sheet so that you don't confuse them on the exam. Okay. Questions? Okay. So this one's probably the most important. Maybe if the maybe that we'll do all semester in my mind anyway. So the at least the way I feel about it, and especially even lenders like Lending Tree and Rocket Mortgage and so forth. It's like interest rates are 30-year mortgage is 6% now, or give or take. As opposed to my I think. I know people who have lower mortgage rates than me. But my 30-year mortgage is 2 7/8%. So I know people that got 30-year rates 2.5 or less. Not much less, but anyway. So it gives you an idea of where rates have gone in the past 2 to 3 years. So, but like like these lenders, they'll push things like refinancing to shorten the term of your mortgage, and it's like all they're doing is generating fees for themselves. You can effectively accomplish that by just paying extra. So if you want to pay your loan off in 15 years, you you know, enter 15 times 12 and put in all the other relevant information and compute the payment that you need, and it'll give you the payment that you need to make. So you don't have to refinance your mortgage to have and you're going to pay several $1,000s in costs to refinance the mortgage. I mean, if they're giving you if they're doing a no cost refinancing, sometimes they'll do that. But even so, they're probably doing that to flip you to a higher rate. So just buyer beware. So Nancy bought her house 12 years ago. She borrowed $750,000 with a 30-year mortgage at 6%. Her mortgage broker has offered her 18-year mortgage with a 5% APR and 3 points closing costs. So we what we've basically got like 5 steps that we have to take in the questions basically work you through. So first thing we have to do is calculate her original payment. So N is 30 years monthly, 360. IY is 6 divided by 12. That's 0.5. PV is the 750,000. And then future value, PV stands for present value, if I didn't say that. And then compute payment. So the Will come out as a negative $4,496.63. Okay, so that's her payment. So she's paid. So she's paid on her house for 12 years. So to calculate the balance, she's got 18 years left. So 18 times 12 is 216. You can also do it this way. You can, so it's 30 minus 12 times 12. That's give you 216 as well. So, but you always want the years remaining, or the year times converted to monthly to do this calculation, or the number of months or number of payments remaining on the mortgage. Then compute PV. So after 12 years, the balance on our mortgage is 593. Whoops. 593,000. 593. I'll do it on the calculator, but I think it's so. I can't even read my own writing at this point. I think it's $45.81. So in this calculation, we're assuming that that we're going to pay the points out of pocket. So so C, we calculate our new monthly payment. That it's 18 years at 5%. And this is our balance on our loan. So to 216 IY is 5 divided by 12. So that's 0.42, but don't do the calculation and press IY, because this the number goes on probably forever. Then we compute payment, and we come out as a negative $4,169.66. And so next thing we do is we're going to calculate the savings and the points. So the points is 0.03 times the balance of 593.4581. So that's $17,792.87. Now, so then and then monthly savings. So that's going to be my, okay, so 4,496.63 minus 4,169.66. So that's $326 and $326.96. Whoops. So now I'm going to, the easiest way to do this is we take the payments and compare them to the points. And I always use the original rate because it's a little more conservative. So and we're going to solve for N to get the number of months that she needs to live in the house to justify paying those points. So we're going to, so IY is 6 divided by 12. So again, I use the original rate, so that's 0.5. PV is the points that you're paying, and I enter that as a negative 17,792.87. And then your payment is your savings, the 326.96. And then future value is 0. That's just telling it you want, you're amortizing all this 17,000. Then compute in, and you get 63.667 months. So, whoa. So just over, she needs to live in the house just over 5 years to justify paying those, the difference in cost. So the the only reason that you would refinance if the rate is higher is if you need some sort of financial relief. That's if you can get a lower rate, then you may, maybe that's worthwhile. But even if you go, like if you have a mortgage that's in the threes and you want to convert to a 15-year mortgage, it's your 15-year mortgage is probably over 5% or close to 5%. So you could easily do the same thing with no closing costs with your 3% mortgage. So hope that makes sense. I'm going to go and do it on the calculator. Any questions before I go to the calculator?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. So, all right. So we've got first calculation is our mortgage payment. So 30 years monthly at 6%, $750,000. So 30. You can just type in 360 if however you do it. I recommend doing it the same way every time. So 360. 6 divided by 12, we need a monthly rate. So 0.5, 750,000. PV, 0, future value, compute, payment, 4,496.63. And let's do this. Let's I'm going to change it. I hit the plus minus to eliminate the negative. I'm going to store this in 0. So now I'm going to see I wrote, that should be C right there. So now part B, I need to I've got 18 years monthly times 12. This is when you want to do the calculation because I don't remember that 18 times 12 is 216. I didn't memorize my multiplication tables beyond 12. So 216 in, compute, PV, balance 593.095. I said 45, 095.81. So step C is to put in the new rate. So nothing else changes. So 5 divided by 12 equals 0.42 IY, and then compute payment. So that's $4,169.69. So what I can do, since that's a negative, I just add and then hit plus and hit recall 0. So now I've calculated my monthly savings that goes in my payment. then recall, I can use recall my PV. So that's a 593,095.81 to the, and I multiply that by 0.03, 17,792. That's my points. And I want to make that a negative and put that in PV. And then, so now I've got it set up, and I want to, you can use the new rate. It's just not as conservative. So 6 divided by, I change it, divided by 12 is 0.5. I've never seen a convincing argument for which rate to use. So, but I mean, I suppose the new rate might be more accurate, but the old rate gives you a little bit of cushion for for your time involved. So 0.5 IY. So let's just go through everything. Recall PV, that's my points. I enter it as a negative. Recall payment, it's my savings. My future value is 0. So that just it's going to compute in 63.67. So that's months. If I wanted to convert it to years, divide by 12, you get 5.31 years. So, but, you can also use this analysis if you, for some reason you do, if you're buying a new home and you want to compare, or you want to buy a new home and you want to compare your mortgage payment to your current mortgage payment, you can do that analysis like by working through this process, because you want to, when you're doing it, you want to make sure you consider all the costs, all those costs that costs of borrowing. So, questions?
No.
All right, we will, please practice these. You become proficient, and make sure you understand the differences between the different types of loan. The the mortgage lenders are what I would call semi-reputable. They're always going to use declining balance, but the one of the things I've had happen to me twice is they'll tell you they'll want you to give them a credit card to pay a fee, and they'll tell you it's going to be credited back to you when you close. That's a bunch of crap. They're not crediting anything back to you. You're just paying it out of pocket, and they're basically telling you you're not going to be charged again when at closing. You're going to pay for it once. So, but so I had a guy with Loan Depot, who I refinanced. He authorized a charge on my credit card and for an expedited appraisal. So and so I threw a fit, and I got they kicked in money at closing to reimburse me, but it's like after the guy did that, he would never return my call. It's like and then he started sending me letters, emails, trying to get me to do a refinancing with them. And I replied back to his email, and I said, if you ever email me again, I'm going to report you for unauthorized charges on my my credit card. And I never heard from him again. But this is this is the kind of sleazeballs that you can encounter when you're borrowing money. These people, they don't. They're not fiduciaries. They do not have to act in your interest. So there's definitely some scummy people in consumer lending. So yeah. Anyway, all right. That's all I have for today. Any questions? But I promise you that these will be the types of problems that will appear on the exam. If you become comfortable working them, you will you should do very well on the exam.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is one of the other type of problem that's included in the mortgage chapter is the mortgage affordability, and I saved that for the final exam because mortgage affordability and refinancing are both pretty involved calculations. So mortgage affordability will appear on the final exams. All right. Are you good, Antoine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. And
One thing,
what?
when you say final exam, do you mean just the last exam or the
Last exam, third exam, yeah.
Oh, okay, 30. Got it.
Yeah, if you choose to take the final exam, I promise you that every one of these problems will be on it. So, but the third exam will definitely include mortgage affordability. So,
Got it.
okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, you guys have a good week, and let me know if you have any questions, if there anything that I did doesn't make any sense, whatever it may be. Please don't be afraid to ask. And I will talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
Thanks, you too.
Have a good weekend and a good spring break.
Thanks, you too. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.